Next in this Unit 6, we have saving money, the difference between simple interest versus compound interest. Now, these kids may not have ever heard of the different types of interest, whereas they may have only just heard interest rates, and they don't know how they operate. So, simple interest is money added only on the original deposit. And then compound interest, I like to use the phrase it's interest on interest, or it's interest on the current balance. Now what that means here is interest on the original deposit. You find the interest on that original deposit and then you add that value each year, which means simple interest is a linear model. And then compound interest means you're finding the interest for 1 year and then using that number to find the interest on another year, which means that this is an exponential model. And then you have the discussion with the kids, which one is better? Is the linear model, simple interest better, or is the compound interest better? Or when is one more advantageous than the other? And that's a very simple description if you look at it graphically. So when we look at this thing graphically, we have the linear model, simple interest, versus the compound interest, which is exponential. So exponential looks something like this. So this is the compound model. Now, over the short term, simple interest is more advantageous because simple interest will give you more money than compound interest. But over the long term, several years, compound interest is more advantageous. And matter of fact, because over the long term compound interest is more advantageous and over the short term it's less advantageous, most banks or most financial products don't incorporate simple interest anymore, because if you take that money out in the short term, the bank has not had to pay you as much money or has not had to give you that much interest. Whereas saving over the long term, most people don't have the discipline to keep their money in a bank account for a long period of time. So they give you the compound interest, make it sound all advantageous, all lucrative, but then once you need the money and you take it out, now they've actually not had to pay you as much money in interest because you've taken it out over the short term. And they figured out that simple interest is better over that short term, so don't offer it when people are going to take that money out too soon. So now if we take a look at a simple graphic, we deposit $1,000 in one account, we get 6% simple interest. In another account, we get 5.5% compounded annually. Now, we'll talk about compound periods in later videos. Right now, we're just talking about every year you get 5.5% on the current balance. So for simple interest, you get 6% only on the original deposit. That means you get $60 each year. So you're just going to add $60 each year as you go from $1,000 to $1,060, $1,120, $1,180, so on and so forth. All you do is add $60. But on this one, your first year's interest is going to be $55. And see here, short term, simple interest is better. Compound interest is not. The second year, you're going to get $58.03 because you're going to calculate 5.5% of $1,000 plus $55, so $1,055. That interest is $58.03. And then you add these two together plus your original deposit, and that's your new balance for the next year. And then you're going to get $61.23 for the next year. And notice by year 3, now you're making more money each month than in your simple interest. So, however, you still haven't gotten the same total because 60 times 3 is 180. And if you add these three, you're going to get less than 180. But there is, again, remember graphically, there's that point in time where they'll be approximately the same, but then compound interest is just going to skyrocket and go way beyond the simple interest model. And that is saving money.